Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the Composition Consultant with Miss Composition Consultant.
That's me.
We're both in attendance today. We're delighted to be joined with Pim Johnson, Annabelle, and Scott. I mentioned Pim's surname because it's funny to say. Everyone says it wrong. The more I say it, the more people understand how to pronounce it. Anyway, I'd like to talk today about the limbic system training community that these three fine people have created. It sounds very bizarre. I didn't know what limbic system meant, or limbic in general meant, until maybe a few months ago when Annabelle kind of explained to me. I thought I was some sort of cookie weird thing.
No one knows that.
No one knows what it means. So I think the first question has to be, what is limbic system training?
2 minutes or less.
2 minutes or less.
Okay. Without boring the heck out of everybody that tunes in your channel and them, you're getting your watch down time to literally 30 seconds. I will make this as simple as it possibly is. Okay. So there's a lot of fancy words for it. Neuroplasticity training, limbic system training. It basically just boils down to this. Our main goal with limbic system training is to get yourself out of this chronic stress, fight or flight response through different exercises that we employ. Okay. I'll give you just a quick example. Okay. I've been sick for a long time now. Once you've been dealing with chronic illness for as long as I have, you become like a broken tape recorder. You start manifesting this stress, fight or flight response on a 24/7 basis. Okay. Everything you do, everything you think about, is geared towards protecting yourself from danger. And I was always wired towards that. So brain retraining is just a way of removing yourself from that fight or flight response, telling your body that it's safe. Because if you are in that parasympathetic nervous system state, your body's going to be able to heal. If it's not, your body will not be able to heal. Your gut and your brain cannot be disconnected from each other. They are intricately linked to each other. And when you are going through severe stress like this, and you're constantly releasing these stress hormones, like norepinephrine, cortisol, adrenaline, what happens? Okay. You're going to start creating a lot of inflammation throughout your body, right? You're having these inflammatory cytokines constantly being activated. And when it comes to your gut, your stomach lining is going to start to recede. Okay. Your stomach acidity is going to be reduced. So you're not going to be able to digest your foods properly. Obviously, rest and digest. Everybody knows that term. And how are you going to be digesting when your body perceives that it's being attacked by tigers and bears all day? It's impossible. So that's when when your stomach acidity starts becoming lower, your stomach starts receding, your microvilli starts receding, your small intestine, you start developing leaky gut, you develop SIBO, you develop candida overgrowth, you develop parasites, you develop all sorts of issues, and it's the snowball effect. Then you start developing histamine issues, you get the neurological symptoms, you start reacting to every food that you start eating. So the best way to do this, and the main source of this for most people, is the stress response. Now, how do we stop ourselves from constantly being in the stress response? Well, we work on mindset exercise, emotional exercises, simple techniques like affirmations, gratitude journaling, self-talk, in terms of telling yourself that your body is safe and not in danger. I always tell people that, and I know I'm ranting, and I'm going to stop in just a minute. I apologize, guys.
The question was, what's the limbic system?
Well, this is all. What's that? What?
The question was, what is the limbic system?
The limbic system, okay, is your the limbic system. It's not really exactly clear cut exactly what consists of your amygdala or limbic system, but it is your fear, fight or flight response. It is your emotional response to any type of environment or stimuli, and that's basically what it is. But I really want to get into exactly, how we get locked into that stress response and how to remove yourselves from it. So there could be a lot of different ways you do it through breath work, meditation, visualizations, gratitude, sort of different types of self-talk, being a part of a community, right? So getting support, finding joy in your life again. And that is really what our community is all about. And it's all about simply trying to stop the inflammatory response. So it's really that simple. It's not as difficult to understand as people think it is. Limbic system training is just really another word for just saying, let's get into a parasympathetic, calming state instead of being a stressful one. If you want to get into layman's terms, right? So anyways, now I will shut up and you guys could talk.
Wonderful.
Makes perfect sense to me.
So it's like a little talk for yourself daily as well.
Pep talk for yourself daily. You got the accountability side of it by having the community. The affirmations. What else did you mention?
Connecting, your brain to about basically just reassuring yourself constantly that everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, many of us follow the carnivore diet, but we don't have 100% health.
Yeah.
And obviously the missing link here is clearly not going to be the diet if we're all trying to be perfect. Something else is missing.
Yeah.
So very useful, practical work you're doing.
Fantastic.
Well, I didn't want to bore the shit out of your audience, but like I did carnivore diet for, I think my longest time was 456 days strict. And I didn't get to a point where I was, I got to a point where I was better, but I wasn't to the point where I was like, oh, I feel great again. This is great, And I've talked to so many people in this space that feel the same way. And there has to be another side to it. And, I'm not the brightest person around. I'll be perfectly honest with you guys. I'm probably not selling myself very well by saying that. But Ribeye Rachel, who I always have to mention these videos, was my biggest inspiration. If you guys follow her story, and she just mentioned to me one day, she goes, have you ever looked into brain retraining? Because Scott, I can just tell by talking to you, you seem like you're very stressed out. Have you ever looked into your mindset, into your brain in terms of healing your gut? And I was like, really? Why? I had never thought about that. I've been to a million practitioners, spent tens of thousands of dollars, and I never looked into reducing stress and getting myself out of this stress response that I've been looped into for 6 years now. And that's all it took. That's all it took. Over time, days start passing by and things started getting better day over day, pretty much. And I have some really great tools now, even if I'm having a really bad day, to help get myself out of that. And it's the best thing that's ever happened to me, hands down. So anyways, again, I will stop talking. I'm putting myself on mute and you guys take it off from here.
That sounds like valuable stuff. People are going to have objections to this, and they're going to say, well, I can do this all myself. No, obviously not, because otherwise you wouldn't be looking at this sort of video. If you could do it all yourself, you wouldn't be reaching out for people for accountability. Like myself, I kind of had issues before with binge eating. I kind of knew what I needed to do, but then I'd speak to Pim, go on, her live Q&As and ask her questions. She would answer them, and I'd have a response, and I'd think, well, she knows what's going on now. If I don't follow through with what she's advising me to do or making different suggestions as she's making, then I've already messed some people up here. You'll tell me off. We've got another question.
So, let's see. Who's really did it? Someone?
Yeah.
Should we direct it at the top of our screen? So, what people becoming members expect once they have joined? Run it through kind of payment to the end.
I couldn't hear a word of that question.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Let's try again. We need the less literate one of us to do. Him, from the get-go, from the moment that someone pays to join the community, what happens? Like, so they've just paid, they receive an email, what happens then? What do they have access to?
Okay, so when someone signs up, I just want to say that in March, it's free to join, so you don't have to pay a single dollar until April. And we just want to offer that in the beginning so that you guys can check it out and just try things out and see how it works for you and how you like it. Having said that, when you have had an illness for a long time, it's not going to be solved in 2-3 weeks. So just take that into account. But what happens is that you will get an email from us where you will get the link to join our sessions. And that link for the duration of March is the same link for every meeting that we have. And we have 5 classes every week that you can access at different times. And you will also have a link to our Discord channel, which is where the major part of the community aspect is taking place. So that's where people go every day to share their affirmations, their joy, their gratitude. And we can just inspire each other. And, sometimes life feels really shit. And it can be hard to just get out of that. And you just want to sit there and feel sorry for yourself. So the point with having this is that you actually do have to think about these things and voice them to other people. And also to get a little bit of inspiration and see that there are other people who are in a similarly shitty situation, if you like, that can actually see what's going on that is positive in life. So it's just a way of getting this community feeling and getting you guys to just connect with each other as well and feel like you belong somewhere where people understand you. And part of our classes are going to be part of this as well. Next week, I'm going to do a class where we just get to know each other more and connect with each other and focus on what we can do to get better. So we're trying to incorporate as much as possible of this community aspect. So right now, 5 classes per week. We have the Discord channel. In April, we're also going to introduce a body up system for those of you who want to actually buddy up with someone and have someone that you can always go to. But that's coming later on.
Sounds useful to me.
Yeah, and I think there's so many shit things happening in the world right now that, like you say, people do just kind of, they get into like the self-pity and then that's where the binge eating and, it's a slippery slope, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I love that you can now hear me. So clearly Jonathan just muted me.
Yeah. Well, one thing that happened was I used a different microphone. It's the one that's attached to my laptop. So I might not cut this out. I might just leave it in here to add into watch hours. But
it's way better now, the sound. It's really good.
Oh,
yeah.
good.
My microphone technology and software was mastered by a 35-year veteran in the field of audio technology for many multiples of elite production companies.
So it should be good.
Should sound fine.
It should sound amazing.
Oh, sweet.
It does now.
Yes.
This is my elite microphone right here. It cost me about $30 at Walmart.
Yeah. Oh, that's good stuff. And getting back to the point, it sounds like the main focus is obviously the accountability side of it, but also the fact that you're going to gain something from people that are experts in these individual fields. You got Scott, who has experience in this, Pim, who knows an awful lot, and Annabelle also knows an awful lot. Different backgrounds, but ultimately they come together to formulate the matrix, the trio of experts.
Well, and also we have our guest coaches. So we've got guest speakers who are going to come on, but then also we've got 2 other coaches. So one who does like exercise and movement classes, and then another one who again has got a personal experience with rewiring her brain and limbic system retraining. So there's a lot to gain from the coaches, even just different tools and different therapy methods that you maybe would have never thought of to do yourself because you just don't have that knowledge, just to make sure that it's as easy as possible for you to get the results that you want. So there's both, it's the accountability, but also the knowledge that you need, and then putting it all into action.
Yeah,
that sounds good to me. Could each of you outline maybe the sort of classes each of you will hold? Because obviously some of you guys have different followings to others, so maybe people will go more in certain directions. If Scott, do you want to go
maybe him. Oh, okay, sorry.
Okay, yeah, I can start. So I'm mostly gonna focus on the cognitive aspect and choosing to think better thoughts on purpose. So this is what you can do with your mind. So that could be positive affirmations, just changing negative thought patterns and thought loops that you're having. just reframing the way that you are looking at the world to think about it in a more positive way. So this is what you actually have conscious control over that can create a stress response, which may or may not be the case for everyone, but very often if we are thinking a lot of negative thoughts, we will have a stress response from that. So if you have any pre-existing like limbic system impairment, that is going to get a lot worse if you're just thinking a lot of negative thoughts. So it's just like we're attacking it from two sides, and I'm going to take part of being like doing that part together with Annabelle. And I'm also very much into building the community. So part of my classes are just going to be those classes I just described previously, where we come together and actually people get to speak to each other. So it's not just me talking and speaking to others. They also get to connect with each other, because building a community is, I mean, it sounds like, yeah, I want that. That might be nice, but it's not necessary. And I will totally disagree with that, because when you're around other people and when you feel like people understand you and that you're actually part of something and you're a valued member of that community, that will have a hormonal effect on you, and it will just lessen your stress response and make you feel good, which can also impact the level of pain that you're feeling if you're someone who's suffering from a lot of pain. So there's so many benefits to just being in a community, and I want to really focus on that aspect as well, because I think that is missing from what we're doing. So that's pretty much what I'll be doing.
Fantastic. Annabelle, you're up.
Oh, it's me. Okay. So what we're doing is basically more of the neuroplasticity method. Therapy and rewiring the brain.
Annabelle, you're really cracking up.
You're next. Shut a chance.
Changing the narrative.
We can't sort of now. Let me go first, and you're completely stuck.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mostly focus on meditation visualizations, which I've really taken a deep dive in because I felt like they helped me the most, and they were really great hacks for me in terms of just a lot of things for me is like I would react every time I ate food. So employing like meditations, visualizations, breath work, sort of breathe in this sort of new life force for me in terms of calming down this constant craziness that was always going on with me and my body from going insane every time I ate something. So that's mostly what I'll be focusing on. I also want to focus a lot on sort of vagus nerve exercises as well, and doing that in a way that really promotes digestion. And we'll also be getting in some other stuff as well, but I think that's mostly what I'll be focusing on. And Annabelle, are we okay? You still look stuck.
Am I okay now?
Oh, you're there.
Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. Can you hear me and see me? Is everything okay?
We can hear you. If you turn off your video, it might make the connection a bit better.
Okay. Is it better?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you can't see me then. So basically what I'll be doing is more of the neuroplasticity side. So essentially rewiring the brain through different therapy methods and different exercises, which of course will change the narrative, change some of the programming and the way you think, and it will create this mindset shift similarly to what Pim was saying that she'll be doing. So it's kind of all along that route, but then at the same time it will be more actionable, practical things, so like lifestyle factors and looking into that kind of thing as well.
Wonderful.
Sorry.
It's the best technology you've ever experienced on my channel ever.
I don't think we've had so many people on the channel at once, have we? Doesn't know what to do.
How many people are there? We're live right now, right? With people on.
No,
Instagram
we're not live. Are we?
No,
we're not. Okay.
In the video, nothing is getting cropped out.
No.
Oh no. Okay.
It's like
my viewers have quite a wicked sense of humor. They'll like it.
And we just can't be dealing with all this editing. Do you know what I mean?
No, I like editing.
No.
Yeah, but this is just gold.
So we were on Claire's channel. She made a thumbnail, and she was like, "What do you think?" And I'm like, "That looks like Donald Duck and his what are they? His nephews?
His ducklings.
Yeah.
Good old pair.
Yeah. Your title should be shit show limbic session with Scott Anvil, Tim.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, just getting back to the
Technophobes.
point, like this is a valuable thing. This is something like, I think it's the first month is free, then the second month I believe is $49. Is that correct?
No,
75.
75. All right. I'm looking
75, but we will have those affiliate codes, so people will get a discount their second month.
75. So that's
yeah, and Jonathan Sophie
£60.
hopefully will be affiliates as well.
Yeah, still £60. You're looking at £15 a week for all this content. People that actually understand the mind, have overcome
So
serious
5
health
classes.
issues. Well worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Especially if you're in a community of other people that understand what you're going through. I think it helps you as a person a lot more, knowing that there's more people in the same situation as you, or a very similar situation, and you're all on the journey together. And I think it's just fantastic. Then you all bounce ideas off each other.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think how we try to be a little bit different as a community is because we try to focus on the gut and the brain. And I think a lot of communities out there, they either focus on one or the other. They're always trying, I guess Western modern medicine really tries to compartmentalize different organs and different areas of your body, and they're disconnected from each other. It's like you go see a kidney doctor or liver doctor or whatever. Sorry, it's not called nephrologist or whatever you want to call them. I don't know. I don't know medical lingo, but you know what I'm saying. But this community really tries to focus on both, because I think that they can't be separated. If you're trying to heal your gut issues, you need to work on your brain and vice versa. So that's, I think, how we're a little bit different than most communities out there.
No one else is talking about this. Everyone's talking about a stick of butter a day, macros, ratios, numbers, iodine drops. I'm not picking on anyone, am I?
I don't think so.
No, we do understand.
Sounds like steak and butter.
But the thing about nutrition is that, like, even though it is the foundation, it's so incredibly important. Like, what are you going to do if you've got the best nutrition? Because I've been in that situation where you have the best nutrition ever, but you're so stressed and miserable and depressed, and you're alone and you're isolated. You're not going to heal or get very far, even if you're doing everything right.
Yeah, you've got to address it from multiple angles. This group is going to appeal to people that have almost tried it all but not succeeded. I'm joined here with 3 absolute heroes in my eyes: Scott, Pim, Annabelle. All performed excellently. Lee.
Excellent.
All the best interviewees.
Yeah, honestly, it's been useful. I do advise people that watch this video to check out their channels. I'll link them below. I'll provide a description of what the course basically is, and also offer a code of some sort, which will be very useful for you guys to use and make the maximal amount of benefit for your coin.
They're all doing a tilly, aren't they? With their little.
Yeah,
Tim, I always hated it when people did that. I'm sorry. That's the first time I've ever done that in my life. Can I just say one more thing? And I know I talk way too much and bore the hell out of everybody on every interview that we do. But honestly, the best thing about this project for me has been just working with these guys. I hate to get all big softy or whatever on everyone, but seriously, Pim and Annabelle, I feel like I've developed such a close relationship with them, and I think the coolest thing about this, at least just working on from my end, has just been working with the team that we have, because all these people that we work with are really honest, caring, genuine people. And that's not really something I'm used to in this space. I am used to more the snake oil salesman, always trying to sell you. So there's always something. There's always a catch. It's like, I'll help you out. And here's your bill for $10,000. And it's something I've just lived with constantly for over 6 years now, trying to heal. Somebody's always trying to sell me some product or something. And it took me 6 freaking years to learn that it wasn't some product that was going to heal me. I wasn't doing some protocol. I wasn't doing this for that. Yes, of course, nutrition plays a huge component, but it just took working on my emotional state and my mind and everything else I've learned, which I've been very fortunate. I don't regret having gone through the hell I've gone through, because I've learned so much, and I feel like I've escaped the matrix, and I've met these people. I met you guys. I met, people who are the best people I've ever met in my life through this experience. So I don't have any regret going through it.
Yeah, we have kind of become like a family now.
That pros aligns very closely with my experience as well. Very closely.
What's that?
Product. You mentioned the word products, and I can get behind that. Products are products. Doesn't change who you are. Doesn't build a body. Doesn't build health. So brilliant work, Seb. Perfect.
Oh, I've tried every product you could imagine under the sun, buddy. You should have looked before I dumped them all in the garbage. You should have looked at my cabinet. My wife, she'd open up the cupboard and shit would just come flying out of the cabinet. Stuff would just come like an avalanche of just medicine and stuff like that. God forbid I ever left the caps undone, But it was rough. I tried everything, and pretty much everything I tried made me worse. I couldn't take any of it. It's terrible. So I threw it all in the garbage. Yeah.
That's true, because Scott would message me as well, being like, "This thing made me worse," and just like about everything. Even I'm trying this and it sucks, and it's just like every day.
My last foray into that was just a few weeks ago. I took that, and I'm not saying this is bad stuff. I was taking colostrum.
Colostrum, yeah.
Oh my God! I called Annabelle one day. I was so emotional from the die-off. I was just crying, just like a little baby. I was just so emotional from it, and. I said that's it. I'm never trying anything again. So, yeah, good stuff.
Perfect. Well said. I'll let Sophie wrap this up.
Pim, is there any final words you want to say?
Did you not think that I got enough airtime?
You're right. You got too much. Annabelle, you're next.
I have had way too much airtime. I don't think I've been that useful for this whole interview, to be honest. I think Pim has probably been the voice
You're talking too much now. That's it. Right. The links will be below. Goodbye.